Now that I've had some more time to think about it, I have to say that these commander bans that happened recently may be way worse than even I could have ever imagined. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Mattcaster Mage. I do enjoy making videos on Magic the Gathering, not particularly videos like this because it's kind of a sad week, really. I was gonna say sad day, but this is 2 days old, I think, at this point, this news. So this is something I wanted to talk a little deeper about because it's the impact that it has on the market, and I do a lot of videos specifically talking about the Magic the Gathering market with the Market Mover series and everything else like that. But I think what is really bad about this particular situation and the bannings that were just announced is the fact that the trust people have now in holding cards of value are so low right now, especially if the reasonings are so vague like they were in the announcements. I don't believe those reasons are valid. Fast mana for CEDH, that's not really an issue. If you're playing really competitive, especially when you're a 4-player game, you know, one person busts out this really expensive card, powerful card, and people are like, well, this person's a target now. If you're dropping Soul Ring, hey, if you're even dropping Soul Ring turn 1 and you're able to play your commander or something like that, even that would be considered probably a target on your back. But, you know, same things, Mana Vault, Dockside Extortionist especially that card. But regardless, this has had such an impact on people's trust that people are starting to speculate now. Now, the first time I did a video about this ban, I went to the market and I looked at the graphs, and I did notice that a lot of these cards were dumping a day or two before the ban announcement. Now, insider trading, you know, those are things that go on in the real stock market, but it does happen as well in the Magic the Gathering market. So it is very interesting to see that that was something that was happening, but then it makes you think, well, clearly, there are people who knew a few days before. How long did the Rules Committee and Wizards of the Coast collaborate and, you know, go back and forth and have conversations back and forth about these particular cards? Because if you think about recent sets, Commander Masters was already a set that people were furious with. Commander Masters, they were like furious about the prices, the reprints in the set, and the fact that it was Jeweled Lotus. It was basically Jeweled Lotus or bust in the beginning. A lot of the other cards started to finally kind of go up in price, so it's balanced the box out a little bit. But if you really looked at it, it was, in the beginning, perceived as a Jeweled Lotus set or bust. And that set came out like a little over a year ago, so you have to really think about how long this card was on like a private watch list, right? Private watch list that Wizards knew that it might actually get banned, but yet they made a set entirely around it, maybe to get a little more money off of that card before they knew that it was going to get banned, you know? And they couldn't ban it right away because that would be even more suspect. You know, if you release a set and then a month later, when it's already in 2 sets at this point, you're going to ban it. So of course you have to give it some time, but it makes you really think about cards like Mana Crypt even, right? That was a card that was a make or break for a lot of sets. You know, people were screaming for Mana Crypt reprints, especially in like master sets or any sort of specialty set that has a high price tag attached to it. You wanted to see that Mana Crypt because even to this day, I've still never pulled a Mana Crypt. I've pulled plenty of Mana Vaults, some Ultimate Masters. I've pulled Jeweled Lotus, but I've never pulled a Mana Crypt, and I've always wanted to pull it, and now I'm like, well, I don't know if I really want to pull it anymore, because if I was going to use it in any deck, it would probably go into a Commander deck. I don't play Legacy or Vintage, because those formats are just, they're too expensive for me, personally. It's something that was used to push a lot of the Lost Caverns of Ixalan boxes. It was definitely the chase card. They had like 5 or 6 variants of this card as well, and Lost Caverns of Ixalan came out even after Commander Masters. So how long did they know about these cards being an issue, and how long were they actually discussing this? Was it over a year, 2 years? How long does it go? And this is another thing I want to talk about. Watch list. If cards are on watch lists, people will be a little bit more hesitant to buy things, and I honestly think instead of having like a private watch list or anything like that, maybe the rules committee should speak more openly about this stuff. Maybe they should actually have a public watch list, and who knows, some of these cards may never actually get banned if they're on the watch list, but if they're problematic, they can be on the watch list and makes, the consumer feel more, confident whether or not they want to buy something. Because if you want to, especially if you're someone who wants to buy multiple copies for each commander deck you have, especially something like Mana Crypt, which is an artifact you can play in any single deck. So when you have a public watch list, people can make up their own mind, a better educated decision on whether or not they want to purchase it. Even if you're a store, like if you own a game store, I don't know how expensive. Mana Crypt at one point was almost $200, so there might have been some stores paying over $100, $100 to $120 maybe even for some of these Mana Crypt copies. And just imagine the price now, right? The price has surprisingly stabilized a little bit on these cards. I'll discuss that in a later video. I don't want to go so deep into that right now. But Jewel Lotus is the one that's been tanking the most because it's a card specifically designed for Commander. That is it, for Commander. Now, I wanted to show you guys this one card that has been going up because it is a mana rock, and that is a Mana Vault right here. Now, this is the box topper version of the card, and as you can see, it has been spiking ever since that ban announcement happened. In fact, a day before it started to go up from 128 to 134, and now it's sitting at $146.90. And this is just one version of Mana Crypt. There's a lot of these that are going up, and this is a ramification for what happened with the ban announcement, right? People are going to find any way they can to salvage their decks. I mean, Mana Crypt and Mana Vault, obviously different power levels. Mana Vault is probably a little bit underpowered compared to Mana Crypt, but it doesn't do that damage to you, which is could be crucial in a game. Like, a lot of people die to Mana Crypt. And then we have cards that could get banned in the future. This is the Judge promo version of Doubling Season. Obviously, it's been printed quite a lot, but it is a card that people consider to be problematic in Commander, or it can really let you run away with the game. So is this a card that would be on like a private watch list? This is why I think transparency is key in these moments like this. Like, if we have a public watch list, we can finally make better decisions, better educated decisions on our purchases, because these are cards that are so expensive that they make or break sets, and they are used to push sets sometimes, like Jewel Lotus. That was literally the flagship card for Commander Masters. Same thing as you could argue Mana Crypt for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. While, yeah, it was in a special guest slot, it wasn't like a card you can pull in every pack, but it was a card that was definitely used to push the set, and that is very frustrating, especially when you're looking at boxes and the prices of them and how expensive they are. Like, look at Commander Masters right here. This is a close to $250 box right now. At one point it was like $150. This is a $250 box right now, and surprisingly, it hasn't went down that much in value. Though I think boxes, sealed product definitely lags way more than singles, but I imagine this box going back down to like sub 200s. Because Jewel Lotus really was like the flagship card for the set. So I can see this box going down. And now let's take a look at the collector box for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. This is another box, close to $350. And obviously Mana Crypt is a huge push, a huge draw for this particular box. And I imagine this card will go below 300. This box will go below 300 in the next few months. I could be wrong on this, but again, lagging indicators, these boxes tend to lag behind these singles. But if you're looking at the chase cards for both of these boxes, that's really one of the reasons why people are spending so much money on these collector boxes. So regardless, I just wanted to get a little deeper into this topic, because the more I thought about it, the more I just feel like we were betrayed as consumers. Luckily, I'm someone who doesn't buy too many singles. I like to buy sealed product because I like to do openings and stuff on the channel. I just enjoy it a little bit more. But I do buy singles from time to time, but this will definitely get me to be a little more reluctant when it comes to buying expensive cards that are deemed maybe problematic to some people. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.